So now I want to show you how I would use AlphaLock. So here I have a costume drawing for a character, and I have created the composition. The face is from a PNG site. The torso is painted on a separate layer, and then the dress is on another layer. So here's how it looks in the layers. So here is the dress, here is the face, and here is the torso. But what I want to do is I want to paint the dress. Now, I have a couple of options. I can open the layer that has the dress on it, and I can start to paint directly on this layer, and I will paint the entire composition. All right? Or I can select those layers individually and paint them using the AlphaLock. So here's how I might choose to paint this. If I want this dress all one color, I'm going to go ahead and put the AlphaLock on. Then I would come up here and I would go down to water. I want a brush from the water set, and I'm going to use the one that's highlighted. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pull my color. I'm going to put her in kind of a lavender dress. Then, because I've got the AlphaLock on, which you can tell by that checkered background, when I go to paint this layer, you'll notice, let me make that darker so you can see it. I'm only painting the dress no matter where I move my stylus, right? And I can put another color on there if I want to kind of put lights and some shadows in there. I can change brush opacity and all those things. I can even put a pattern on top of that. If I go down here to my textures, and let's choose the polka dots, and let's make those in a darker purple, right? I can go ahead and put polka dots on there. And it won't put the polka dots anywhere that isn't the actual image on the layer. And as long as my undo button is highlighted, I can go back and erase that and do whatever I'd like to it. But let's say I don't want the bodice to be the same color as the skirt. Well, I have two options. I can go ahead, be sure my AlphaLock is on, and I can go ahead and choose my brush, and I can paint the top part of the bodice, and then I can change color, and I can paint the second part of the bodice, the dress, sorry. But if you look and I'm not careful, I'm going to get an overlap there. So one of the things that you can do using AlphaLock is divide that garment into two pieces. So here is the dress, but here I've got the bodice of the dress, and here I've got the skirt of the dress. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AlphaLock just to paint the bodice, one color, and then I'm going to use AlphaLock to paint the skirt, another color. So I will start with the skirt, the bodice. I'll activate the layer. I'll put my AlphaLock on, and then I will go choose my brush. I want the wash, good. And then I will choose my paint, and I want the yellow here. And so now I can go ahead and just paint that bodice. And even if I activate the other layer, the skirt, because I'm only working on the blue layer, I'm only going to paint bodice, right? And then if I want to do the skirt, I'm going to go to that layer, and I'm going to activate the AlphaLock. Now it's checkered, so I know the AlphaLock's on. I can choose my other color, and now I will be able to just paint this. It doesn't matter where else I move it, I'm just painting the skirt. Let's say I wanted to put a yellow print on top of that. I'm going to go to my brush, I'm going to go to textures, I'm going to choose the polka dots, or the decimals as they call them, and I'm going to go to yellow. This is probably going to be a horrible looking costume. And now because I've alpha locked the skirt, I will only put the polka dots on the purple part of the skirt. So that's how you could use alpha lock to actually paint a costume.